the more you broaden your perspective, that works in both directions. You know, we're talking about the scale and the polarity on the planet. Well, if you went from seeing just this much of your reality and what's happening in your reality, really intuiting and knowing, and all of a sudden it opens up to this much, that's a big difference. So now you're seeing all this beautiful joy and profundity, but you're also seeing all this, oh my God, can that be going on?
Yeah.
Tell me that's not been going on my whole life. And so people don't realize that if they stay like this, yeah, maybe it's more comfortable, and maybe people don't want to know because there's that level of fear. But this amount of joy and love and profundity and magic and synchronicity and miracles is so much worth even the frustration and the oh my God that comes with this level of now I see what's happening, you know, and everyone's gonna call me crazy.
And so I want to take it there since you're on that. Okay, so the blinders start here, widen. Okay, there might be a step even between that. Okay, so we've talked about this, Faust. So what happened with me, so that did happen. And with me, the blinders were like out, in. Okay, seriously. And I know I'm not the only one that's been through that. They're out, you know everything, and then something happens in your life and you're like, I got to go back in. I got to go back in, whatever it is. I got to go back in and have this baby. I got to go back in and have this career. I've got to go, you know what I mean, to feed my family or support whatever, okay? Often it is due to stress, a lot of stress and strain emotionally in a situation where you will not feel supported otherwise. Okay, these are the Arcturians. This is largely responsible for the coming out and understanding, and then the survival mechanism of coming back in. Okay, all right. So this is bringing me to, so I had what I'm going to refer to, okay, in this language that we use as a spontaneous kundalini awakening. This was the beginning of there's no ever going back. It was just now things happened where it was still a little bit of a scale, and energy moves like that. We're always moving. We're never going to just be there's no perfect. There's no end game. And that's another thing to deprogram ourselves about. We are ever expanding and we're going to continue, which means when you get where you think you're going, guess what? You're going some more.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
if you didn't, you wouldn't be happy. You wouldn't, I mean, if you literally got to wherever you thought you were, you know, you arrived, you would get there and you would say, what else?
I'm bored.
What else? What else is there? I mean, I can't just stay here. Literally, I don't care who you are. You know, that's the nature of us.
Yeah. So when I had this spontaneous, because I cannot recall steps toward this. I wasn't trying for this. I didn't know what this was. In fact, I couldn't define it for a few years after that. So, but that's indeed what it was. And I could suddenly see everything in Technicolor. So these blinders they were at the time out a little, right? Well, they flew open, basically, okay? I was not yet in touch with galactic beings, which are basically, in many cases, you can think of them as the future versions of us. And that's I know what that sounds like, but that is the truth. That is where we are going. And also at the same time, they're also our family, as in we literally carry their DNA. Okay. And because they've been here. Yeah. For one, and also due to some experimentation, some hybrid things that have gone on, both nefarious and not nefarious. Yeah. Much of it was simply just creating new beings, creation, involved and very God-centered. So it's all over the spectrum. There's no it's good, it's bad, it's all over the place. Right. Which is such as life. Even within humanity, things are all over the place. Right. Right? Right. So it's the same, as above, so below. It's the micro to the macro. All right. And so the blinders did this. I could suddenly, without knowing any of what we just talked about, see all the humans, all the human stuff, okay? Not the angels, I wasn't speaking to God, none of that. Not that I wasn't, I grew up in church. I didn't get to that part about the strict family, thing. But yeah, we definitely were brought up in church. But I had already disconnected quite a lot from that. So I was already aware. I already called what I viewed as God, source energy, the source of creation, universal energy. I was already understanding a lot of that. But when the blinders flew off, that's not what it was about. It is indirectly, obviously, everything is about that. But I was seeing other people as they were. So how this relates to what you were saying is, before, when I would, come out a little bit, come out going, all that, okay? I was seeing both sides, just like you were saying. On the one side, I was seeing this. On the other side, I was seeing that, so the good and the bad. But when this happened, I was seeing everything through the eyes of love. So the good and the bad, that's the difference. That's actually the key, right? Not to sit in the observation, which collectively, that's what humanity is doing, but we're just beginning to peek out, peek through the trees where we see the little sunlight behind the leaves, right? We're doing that. But I was seeing everything through the eyes of like love. I was seeing people as they were, even when they were, as my kid might say, acting like donkeys. Say that, but he did say, I shouldn't admit that my kid says that. But
well, better that than jackasses,
He doesn't. He won't say that to me. But yeah, so regardless of behavior, that's the point. Regardless of whatever behavior was exhibited, I saw them as my brother, my sister, part of me, and it was so joyful. It felt so wonderful.